Κυρίες και κύριοι, χαίρετε. Φιλοξενούμε στο στούντιο του Sigma Life τον αντιπρόεδρο της εταιρείας CNG, με τον οποίο θα συζητήσουμε τα θετικά, τα αρνητικά και τις δυνατότητες και προοπτικές των πλωτών μονάδων συμπιεσμένου φυσικού αερίου. Mr. Hedayak, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
The option of seaborne transport of CNG was considered until recently as an experiment. And therefore was not on the table, at least for Cyprus. The fact is that FCNG has not yet been tested. Do we have any updates on what's going on with this technology?
Yes, actually, as the transportation of large volume of gas by marine CNG, this is new, and the first approval was in 2006. And recently, 4 years ago, we had the approval to move from conceptual to approval for construction by the international marine authorities, like the American Bureau of Shipping, ABS. So in order to obtain approval for construction, you have to do all the testing, you have to do all the design drawings, all the details, so that you can take a set of drawings to the shipyard and say, build me that ship. And so it's available now. It's a simpler solution than LNG, and it has been in use for many, many years because every pipeline is a form of CNG. Every pipeline is compressed natural gas. All we're doing is we are putting the gas on the ship and moving it. It's like a floating pipeline.
When will the CNG vessel be ready?
For a specific project, because this is a new solution in the marketplace, so we specify the size of the ship according to the distance and the volume. Also, the loading of the ship, whether it's in offshore or from a jetty or from a port, will imply the components on each ship. So it's based on each project. In terms of the projects that we have many projects now under different stages of development with multinational oil gas companies. Can't say very much about them because the first thing that the multinationals do is they make you sign a confidentiality agreement. However, there has been 3 projects now that are in the public domain. One is marine CNG through trailers, row on, row off, is like trailers pulled by trucks that move by ships from the supply point to the destination. Another project that was announced recently is the first CNG ship that is going to be constructed in China, and it's approved by the American Bureau of Shipping, and it will move gas from East Java to the island of Lombok in Indonesia, and PLN is paying for this. So you have organizations paying for this because they believe in the solution. And a few weeks ago, Morgan Stanley in the States have applied to the US Department of Energy to ship 170 million cubic foot of gas to different Caribbean destinations using ISO CNG containers. So the application is already moving forward. Our application is a robust solution. It moves intermediate to large volumes of gas. So some of the very small applications don't fit with us. However, applications like Cyprus, to bring gas to the Electricity Authority of Cyprus or to export from Cyprus to many destinations in the East Mediterranean is very applicable and in the sweet spot of our solution.
So it could be a solution for the regional market.
Exactly. CNG is a solution for regional market. Normally the limitation is a distance of 2,500 kilometers.
We see the example
of the ship.
Exactly.
Yeah. LNG is global market. The CNG, we compress the gas, so every 300 units become one. In LNG, you freeze the gas, and every 600 units become one. So the transportation per unit of LNG is lower cost than CNG. However, the terminals of LNG, the liquefaction facilities and the regasification facilities, are much, much more expensive than the simple compression facilities and receiving facilities that are combined with the CNG. Hence you have a crossover, and that's 2,500. Under 2,500, we encourage companies to look at CNG.
The Republic of Cyprus right now aims to build an LNG plant at Vasilikos. That remains the ultimate goal for the government here. Why would you suggest the option of FCNG for Cyprus?
FCNG and CNG, I suggest that because we can, once a decision is made, we can start moving gas in 26 months. And for Cyprus, it's very important to have early revenue from natural gas for two reasons. One is to reduce the cost of fuel for electricity. We can probably cut the cost of fuel that the Electricity Authority of Cyprus buys by maybe half.
Half?
Yes, because currently their cost is about somewhere between $13 and $15 per million BTU. If you use your own gas, it could be $5 plus $2 transportation. It could be $6.50, $7 delivered. So that can cut the cost of fuel for the Electricity Authority of Cyprus maybe by half. That could benefit the people by maybe 20% reduction in the electricity cost. So this is number one, maybe like $450 million a year. The second part is by taking a small amount that does not affect the future plans for the LNG facilities and export it to Greece, for example, like 2 to 3 BCM at a reasonable cost that is competitive with the current price in Greece. Cyprus can make another maybe $900 million. So I did some calculations and I figured that there's $1.3 billion injection in the economy. So do you want to wait 10 years for the LNG and knowing that you still have to find gas? Hopefully you'll find gas, but it's also possible that you don't find gas. And in order to have an LNG facility with the aim of exporting globally, most likely to the Far East, because that's where the best price, and forego the opportunity of having $1.3 billion injected in the economy, I don't think the prudent decision is to do both. As we say in Canada, we can walk and we can chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
You can do the short term, bring the revenue into Cyprus, help Cyprus in the current situation, and plan for the future. If you just export...
So it could be a combination of options in the future. I mean, we could also have the LNG plant maybe in the future and the solution right now with the CFNG.
Exactly.
If we assume that the Cypriot government signs a contract today with your company, how long will it take you? You said 26 months. What kind of actions will you do in the next 26 months in order to meet the requirements of this contract?
Once there's a commitment to proceed, there will be some studies that will be required, and that could take, depending on 4 to 6 months, until you reach the final investment decision. From the final investment decision and putting a shipbuilding contract, the first ship would be available in 26 months, and then one ship after every 2 months. It depends on the size and the volume. Our alliance, which is $130 billion in assets, will make 100% of the investment in the transportation fleet. And we only charge a tariff based on the term and the volume that is being moved, which is very advantageous for Cyprus because we're not asking the government or the companies that are involved to make that investment. We make that investment, and our group of companies make these investments and earn a modest utility rate.
I assume that your company, watches closely the geopolitical developments in the East Mediterranean. The Turkish government is threatening the Republic of Cyprus to stop the explorations and the actions in the Cypriot EEZ. How do these developments affect oil and gas companies' decisions or actions?
I would say, of course, prudent oil and gas companies, they always assess the risk. However, they are very familiar in working in much more hostile territories. They are aware of the risk reward that is involved in any situation. I think I would be hopeful that there will be a solution to the Cypriot situation, and then the benefit can accrue to the people in Cyprus, whether they are Greek Cypriots or Turkish Cypriots, and then also accrue to the region. I mean, you have very large markets around you, like Turkey and Egypt are very large markets. You also have Greece that can take maybe 2 BCM per annum. Then you have Italy, very large market. And why we think CNG is very good for the East Mediterranean is that you have gas and you have markets. Other parts of the world, like Mozambique, they have more than 50 TCF, way more than what Cyprus has in terms of reserves, but they don't have markets. So they have to ship to markets, and the markets happen to be in the Far East, and it's more than the 2,500 kilometers that we're speaking about. So hence LNG is...
The cost is too much.
Yeah, and the LNG is a solution for this. You know, so, but we have regional markets. You can make highest profit and least capital cost. And because you have a group like us that can invest in the fleet, then there is no requirement from you to invest the money. If you put a pipeline, you need to invest in the pipeline or find somebody who's going to invest in the pipeline. And of course, once you build the pipeline, you cannot move the pipeline. You're stuck. While with the fleet, you can move it. If the gas is finished from one small reserve, you can move it to another reserve. You can use even like the difference between winter peaking countries and summer peaking countries by moving some of the ships during the different seasons to serve different markets. And hence you can make maximum efficiency and effectiveness of the fleet. And what that means is lowest tariff.
Do you currently have any discussions with the Cypriot government regarding the solution of CFNG?
We have been talking to the Cypriot government since 2006, so there's a continuous dialogue. We participated in the previous bid of DEFA. We did not participate in the current bid of DEFA because we only transport gas, and in the current bid, the requirement was for gas and transportation. We are just a transporter. I like to tell people that we are like a taxi service. If somebody wants to move goods from here to here, we provide the service for a fee.
And lastly, what kind of guarantees do you provide to a possible customer?
The first thing is we take the technology risk. So if we invest $1 billion to put a project in, we absolutely know that it's going to work, and it's going to work. And we provide the guarantee that's going to work so that you're not taking the technology because you're not spending the money. The second thing is we provide standard industry guarantees in terms of delivery, no different than pipelines. One of the alliance members is Enbridge, which is the largest natural gas distribution company in Canada. They have more than 84,000 kilometers of pipelines, and they implement $4 to $6 billion of projects every year. They provide these guarantees, and they're very well accepted in the industry. And we see that this would be a very similar application here in Cyprus.
Thank you very much. It's been an interesting discussion, and we hope that we see this in action soon.
Well, thank you very much for hosting me, and I wish you and I wish Cyprus the best in making the decision to move forward.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Κυρίες και κύριοι, ευχαριστούμε πολύ που μας παρακολουθήσατε.